Hey guys, okay. Just want to show you the pre-season setup of this CDL 18x60. So this is kind of the season's coming up here, and we're getting this evaporator going to start boiling maple sap into syrup. So this is how it's stored at the end of the season. Everything gets cleaned out. I got a couple videos on cleaning these tanks, things like that, so check those out. There's a whole series of videos called Making Maple Syrup, where you'll find some useful information that may help you out. So first we'll just move some of these things out of the way. These are just spacers to keep the air moving around everything. So this is what the inside of the evaporator looks like. So we clean it out pretty well. I mean, there's a little bit of ash in there from last year type thing, but for the most part, we keep it clean. So before we put the pans on for the season, just make sure everything's in, pretty good shape. Seems to be. You've got your insulating material right here, fiberglass insulation, that insulates underneath the flues in the pan there. And then I'm probably gonna clean this out here. This is just ash that fell down from the chimney, so I'll get that out of there. Our gasket here looks like it's in good shape. It's all the right thickness. It's looking good. Got a little bit of rust on these bolts here. I'll maybe brush that off. But yeah, other than that, let's get putting it together. Okay, so we'll drop in our front pan here, finishing pan. This spacer, I think, is actually supposed to go on the back side. However, we've always put it here just so it gets the finishing pan a little bit closer to the hotter part of the fire. We found that works a little bit better for actually getting finished syrup coming out of your pan here. And then got this gasket here. Just put that there. So we'll drop this in. And this is just a gasket that goes between the two pans. There's actually a groove for it. This is a learning curve for me every year too. You go a whole year without doing something, you do forget things. There we go. As long as it's in that groove the whole way, that's good. I'll put the spacer back. Okay, so I keep my stuff up there in the rafters. Just keeps everything nice and dry. Put on our float box next. Okay, so here's the float box. There's the float. I always take this little rubber gasket out, again, just to keep it clean. You can see in there, there's a place where it goes. So I'm just gonna drop it in there. And there's little tabs that grab onto it, and this acts as the seal against the incoming sap when the float makes it close. So that's on there, and then we'll put it in our float box. I didn't mess with this adjustment from last year, so it just hooks on there like that, and it just sits in there for now. And then we'll use a couple gaskets and a clamp here to hold it on to the actual evaporator. That's where it goes. I always make sure you keep this closed. It's usually open just when I'm cleaning out, so make sure you close that, because the first time you put the sap in, it'll run right out in the ground. And I guess I'll just close the incoming tap here, and then we'll put our gasket. I'll show you that closer. gasket goes in there, and your clamp goes on. This is actually a great system, the way it clamps together. You see this a lot in the food industry, these types of clamps. All stainless, easy to clean, easy to connect. Then you got to put another one here to close off this port, since we won't be using it because the box is on this side. And then you have these caps, just blowing the dust off. Most of the dust that collects in here is just from the dust that comes off of the milled lumber. We built this like 3 years ago, and there's still sawdust coming off of the lumber. It just never seems to end. But I try my best to vacuum and sweep up the stuff immediately above the evaporator, so you don't actually get any dropping into the pan, which wouldn't be the end of the world anyway, but still. Okay, so that's good to go. And then here, I guess I could probably connect that now. It's not connected to anything, but this is the incoming sap from the outside tank where we put our sap or concentrated sap from the RO. So I'll just put that on there. So that's ready to go. And then on this side, pretty simple. You just got your connection tube here, which connects the main pan to the finishing pan. And this, now it really squeezes on that gasket. Okay, and then our nozzle. Make sure that's closed. Okay, and then there's a little port here for your thermometer. I actually use two thermometers. One's digital, one's just the one that came with it. We'll put the one that came with it in there now. It's nice because you can calibrate it. So you don't need sealing tape or anything. And then I just put it, so you can't turn it anymore that way, so I just put it till it's straight up and down. And then I'll put the digital one in there once we get going. I don't have it here right now. What else? That's pretty much it until the day we actually boil. I've got this fan here that I use just to get more air into the fire. It actually works really well. Started using it last year. I got it at Princess Auto. It was on sale super cheap. It was like 25, 30 bucks. And it blows like a squirrel cage, so it blows out here. And if you put it right here, I think I put it up on something, but if you put it here, it blows right under the fire and really gets the thing going, and it doesn't burn that much power. So that's super handy. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully that helped anyone who may have just purchased one of these, or even if you have one, an old one. That's how it goes together. So if I get a chance, I will make a video of starting it up for the first time. It may not be the actual first day, but yeah, I'll make a video on that.